No such thing as a leftist friend. They will backstab you. They will turn on you. It's a cult. Like, if you are not ideologically the same in every regard, if you don't agree with them 100% of the time.
The red pilling of Ana Kasparian is not something I had on my 2024 bingo card. Both of them, even Cenk Uygur, the Young Turks, is just becoming alt-right MAGA conservatives. No, but in all honesty, it's actually hilarious because they were so intolerant and insufferable, and now they're like, yeah, maybe the left is a little crazy. Maybe we have had a few problems over here that we were unwilling to acknowledge, and I think the 2024 election, a lot of other things that are going on in the country, woke everybody up to that reality, specifically those two, and it's great to see because we need people to be, willing to open their minds to the fact that maybe things aren't the way that I always thought that they are, and now she's making waves and probably going to turn a lot of people on her side to at least being somewhere in the middle. We're going to get into that in just a moment, but before we do, make sure to subscribe to RTN News because it ensures to YouTube that you're enjoying our videos, and in turn will continually show up in your feed and it'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
When you say I'm not going to talk to you because I disagree, what I'm actually saying is I'm smarter than you and you have nothing to teach me.
Yeah, and ironically, that's actually the dumbest way to proceed, because one thing that I have noticed is as the left kind of avoids any debate or conversation with individuals they disagree with, well, their ideas don't really get challenged, right? Your ideas get challenged in a debate, in a good faith debate. I'm not talking about,
right.
gross, rolling around in the mud type stuff. But, I like when my ideas are challenged because it forces me to consider the flaws or a blind spot that I might have.
Yes.
And that's so I want to make good arguments.
I think the left is so weak right now. So easy to take apart.
Yes,
because
you're right about that.
I've been thrown up against the wall for the last 20 years saying, you're a racist, you're a bigot. You can only have that said to you if you're a good, decent person so long before you go, what am I doing that makes me appear that way? What is it? And you self-examine and you either fix or you become stronger. Mm-hmm. No one's thrown the left up against the wall. I don't think people have any idea how to defend what they think they're for.
I mean, it's interesting because I've been forced to realize this when I've been making arguments to my audience, to the left, in regard to, hey, you know what? We've implemented this criminal justice reform policy, and it's actually not working out the way we expected. We need to tweak it here, recalibrate it there, and maybe, this policy could actually work out really well. Let's fix these little gaps that we see. And rather than consider that I'm coming at them in good faith because I want these policies to work, all they do is just call you a grifter. Okay, that's it.
And that's a problem. It's so frustrating. If we're not locking step on every single position in the world, you're immediately some sort of name. They'll call you a grifter. You're one of the buzzwords, misogynist, xenophobe, this, because you're like, well, maybe it's not because or racist. Maybe it's not because maybe the disparities are not racial. Maybe it's cultural. Maybe it's upbringing. Maybe it's one of those. Nope, you're racist. See, I knew it. You're not locking step with me. I may agree with you on this, but I don't agree with you on that. So now you're the problem. Now I'm going to call you a name. Now you're not credible anymore because you have an opposing position from me. That is not how we move on as a society. We do not all need to be a hive mind who believe the exact same in every single scenario, because you can bring up something that I didn't think of that makes me shift my mindset in a different direction that is more beneficial to all of us. But they're unwilling to let that even be the case. It's our way or the highway. And that's not how a conducive society is ran. And that's why they lost. And that's why everyone's over it. Everyone's like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. That's why Anna is like, all right, y'all bugging, y'all tripping, I'm out. Now she's an independent and soon to be MAGA.
That's the thing. You can call me whatever you want. Call me a grifter if you want. Yeah. But please try to contend with what I'm saying. Like, debate me on this. No, I want to have an actual exchange. If you just think that you're going to call me a grifter and move along and that's good enough, that's not good enough. Okay, that makes you look weak.
Let them know. Sheesh. That's what they were taught. They were taught that if you don't align with me in everything that I believe, every single position, you must be XYZ. All the buzzwords, all the names it's frustrating because people are allowed to have different views and differing opinions. And it's something that's not allowed. It's like illegal. according to these people. And it's ridiculous. There's no validity to their claims, but they do it anyway. And it's dumb. We have another video we're going to show up where she's talking to some other people, and it's so funny how she's making her tour. She's making rounds across from platform to platform to platform, basically calling out the left for their insanity. She's really woken up to it, and I for one, am enjoying this severely, but obviously the left is going to have their own thoughts on it. But let's go into this next video.
It's not really a political ideology that they're able to defend. It's just a trendy thing that they're doing. And in the meantime, the lives of ordinary people are just kind of like disregarded for their cute little trend.
Do you think that they're doing it to signal to their friends that they're on the right side?
Yes.
Because this just happens again and again. I mean, we see this with the gender conversation, which is another thing you've been outspoken about. And in that case, the emperor so clearly has no clothes that there is no explanation for continuing this narrative other than I just want my friends to think I'm a good person. There's no excuse for it because it's completely illogical at this point.
So once I realized that there's no such thing as a leftist friend, I just didn't care anymore. I mean that.
And that's a bar. No such thing. No such thing. But she'll elaborate.
You mean they don't have friends with each other, or there's no there's just cannot be a friend.
No such thing as a leftist friend. They will backstab you. They will turn on you. It's a cult. Like, if you are not ideologically the same in every regard, if you don't agree with them 100% of the time, like, I love Jonathan Haidt's work because it also kind of changed my perception, or at least the way that I approach human behavior in this realm. And the left scores so low in the moral foundation of loyalty. So, like, when you see all the infighting in the left, I think that's part of the reason why. Like, to me, there's all sorts of people on the left that I am friends with, but I have some serious disagreements with, right? I would never in a million years go on my show and be like, now I'm going to tear this person apart and tell you how they're an awful person. You shouldn't trust them. I'm going to totally, like, dress them down. No, I have loyalty when it comes to my friends. And if we're going to have a disagreement, if there's a productive way that we can approach it and someone or the audience can get something out of it, great. But I'm not going to do it in this disgusting, like, conflict obsessed way that I think is pretty indicative of what you're seeing on the left right now. That's why they never get anything done.
That is so true. It's actually ridiculous. You don't walk lock and step with them in every position that they have. It's how can I make you look like the worst person ever? Like, you don't agree with me on everything, which is such a prideful, arrogant thought process. Because we have differing views on something, if you oppose me in any of those, you're a problem. You're all these names. The lack of loyalty, that's a really good point too, because they over here act like they're the side of tolerance and love and acceptance, when in reality, they're intolerant. And if you oppose them, you're every cruel, vile, evil thing that could ever be stated ever, just because of a difference in opinion. And they'll justify it because they are morally superior than you, according to them. No one else agrees with them, but they think so, and that's all that matters. And she's hit the nail on the head there. You can't have a leftist insane friend. If you have a reasonable person who leans left, that's one thing. But there's people that are like these progressive psychopaths that are in the streets protesting, saying, like, praising a man who, like, was like, held a woman at gunpoint, and demonizing a man who just wants to make the country better. It's like, it's insane. And you don't have to like Trump. You don't have to like, you can like whatever you want, but you should still be a relatively reasonable, productive member of our society, of our culture, of our country, and be willing to have disagreements and still treat people with respect and kindness. And that's something that is literally, it's like illegal. It's against the liberals. If they don't agree, lock and step, they are the enemy. They are the villains. They're Hitler. They're not Nazis. And it's insane. And it's everyone's over it. No one wants to deal with that anymore. We have one more video with Ana Kasparian, and it's hilarious watching her slowly shift her mind to being able to see the other side for what it is and not for what she was told to believe that they are. And so it's really awesome. So let's check this out.
Whereas the left just wholesale denies that it's a reality. Mm-hmm. And when they're confronted by statistics and they have no choice but to acknowledge, okay, well, in some cities there is an increase in crime, they refuse to take any ownership of the failures of some of the reforms, including bail reform, which I think could work with some important and necessary tweaks. But they're just unwilling to, there's like this unwillingness to ever admit that anyone's wrong. And I think that it takes a lot of strength and courage to say, yeah, you know what? We tried this. It's not quite working, but we want to experiment with a few tweaks to see if we can get it to work. I think that there's a lot to admire about that approach, but we're not seeing that. And, you know, to your point, Sarah, like, the thing that drives me crazy is right now, the left-wing narrative is dominated by privileged people who tend to live in beautiful gated communities and are untouched. They're insulated from the policies that they push for, right? I mean, Rob Henderson calls it luxury beliefs, and I think it's a perfect way.
That's amazing. Luxury beliefs. People that are so out of touch with reality and think that they push these morally superior ideologies that don't actually benefit the American people. As a matter of fact, hurt the American people because they're prioritizing things that we don't need to prioritize, that actually affect our lives in negative ways, focusing on a demographic of people that want to live their lives in a specific way that is not representative of the rest of America, but we're focusing on them and doing things to benefit them and make their life better when we could be doing things to help everybody. They're out of touch. They think they're doing these. I'm so kind-hearted and it's so great because I'm living in my gated community that's never going to be overrun by illegals. I'm in my gated community where I have a super expensive house with all these people next to me that are safe and I'm secure, nothing to worry about. So then I can sit there and propagate all of this stuff that's actually harming people, like in Aurora, Colorado, whose apartments are being taken over and all this stuff, because it doesn't affect me. And I feel like I'm the kind one because someone wants to pretend to be something that they're not. And so I'm allowing them to do so because you can do whatever you want. That's not you can't just do whatever you want. There are consequences to your actions. This moral superiority complex that the left has gotten us to where we are now. And it's finally, people are waking up to, yeah, maybe that is a little crazy. Maybe that is a little insane. And what do you mean I can't disagree with you? What do you mean not to, I thought this was America. So it's great
to think of it because they get social capital from all of their rich friends by advocating for these policies, but they don't suffer the brunt or the consequences of those policies. It's always working class people, people of color, marginalized people, the individuals they claim to give a damn about who suffer the consequences of their policies. And it really irritates me.
Yeah.
It irritates us too, Anna. That's what we've been saying all along. And here's the thing. We have our problems on the right as well, but I'm so glad that we don't these people are just I didn't realize this is what we were doing. This is what we were about. I mean, she even stated that she didn't realize how good of a job that Trump had done with immigration and securing the border. And she had not given him his flowers on it in another video because of the state of liberal media and how he was portrayed and how he was so vilified that she was unwilling to even acknowledge or even seek out the good things that Trump did. And that is literally how so many other people that are leftist or liberals perceive the Trump administration. They ignore how much better their life actually was under it solely because of the noise that was all over. So it's great to see that things have changed, and it's great. I'm so grateful, so grateful. And one thing that we need to do on the right is make sure that we can, be cautious, but embrace these people that are opening their mind to new ideas and aligning and being willing to work with us. Obviously, don't let people infiltrate and corrupt. But we should be embracing and trying to like Glenn Beck. That was a great idea to just have a conversation with her and see how things have changed. But a lot of us sometimes are no, you weren't with us before, so you can't be with us now. That's not how we change the country. You guys are sitting there saying you want to see change, you want to wake people up to the truth, and then when the people are waking up, you get mad at them. We gotta do better at that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you are subscribed again. Comment down below your thoughts. I really want to know. This shift is great. Seeing culture, the pendulum swing in the right direction is great. Let's keep working, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.